Well, here I am at Belfast Maysfield Leisure Centre for the CD and Record Fair. So let's go inside and see if we can pick ourselves up a few sound bargains. In the main reception area, collectors are already starting to queue. Some hoping to find that rare album they've been seeking for years, and others just looking for that bargain buy to add to their collection. Inside, the dealers are putting the finishing touches to their stalls as the event organiser, Steve Major, opens the doors for business. As the hall began to fill up, Steve took a few moments to tell me how he got involved with the running of the CD and Record Fair.
I moved over to Northern Ireland several years ago, no real intention of doing it, and I met up with a guy that was doing a few of them, and he was fed up with them, he was really sick of them, and he said, I'm going to jack them in, so I thought it was a bit of an opportunity. I wasn't working at the time. And I took them over, tried a few new towns, did a bit more advertising, and it sort of went from there. And now we have them every week all over the country, and they're going very well, yeah.
Does the information get around by word of mouth? How do people find out about these things?
Basically, it is word of mouth. We have a strong crowd of people that come to most of the fairs, even the local ones, and especially Belfast here. They look forward to it, and there's a big, strong crowd of a good few hundred people that come without any advertising at all. Diehards, real diehards that sort of queue up at the door really early and very keen to get in and spend loads of money.
Well, tell me, what is the big attraction? Why do people come to something like this as opposed to going to their local record store in the city centre?
Well, it's simple really. The local record store don't really do vinyl anymore, and even when they did, they don't do collectible vinyl, they don't do deleted records and things like that. If you come to a fair like this, there's something for everybody. There's music from the 60s right through to present day, there's chart CDs, there's second-hand CDs, there's really cheap vinyl, and there's collectible vinyl. There's £200 U2 items down there, and there's probably £2 U2 items. You know, it's just varied for even if you're into jazz or classical, there's something for everyone really. Quite a few people do bring stuff with them. Some people bring collections to the fair and think they're worth a real fortune, and they're very disappointed because there's so many of them around and so many people are trying to get rid of them. And other people come to the fairs with a box of records just hoping to get a few quid for them, and they turn out to be sort of very nice in some cases, where we've given them sort of quite a few £100 even for just a small box of records. I can remember people that come in with Beatles albums thinking they were just normal standard ones, and they've been like really special ones, first pressings and different coloured labels. It all matters, you know, because limited pressings and things like that. And I can remember when I was in England, one guy had one and it was worth about £900 to £1,000 just for one record.
Well, Steve, before I leave, I'm determined to go away with a bargain. Okay, now can you give me a hint? How do I find my bargain out there?
Just go straight over to my stall. Anything on my stall at all.
You got yourself any bargains?
I did. I got some of the new CDs, and I got the wee one, Ricky Martin, because he loves Loca. We got some of the new CDs that are out, Shania Twain and that, and some of the older ones. My husband's a big heavy metal fan, and he got a lot of the older ones, which made him very happy. It's a lot more fun. You find people who you know would have similar music taste to that you wouldn't see in a shop. You know, people are more eager to talk to you, and the fellas have more time. You know, they say they'll come back on another date and they'll try and hunt out what you want if it's an old album or whatever. So they're not too bad.
So let's have a look at the bargains you've picked up then.
Well, like I say, I got some of the new ones, which is the TLC CD and the Shania Twain CD, which are about £15 in the shop, and I got them for £18 for the two.
So it was worth your trip coming?
Oh, definitely. I got the Alanis Morissette tape, and like I said, my husband got a lot of the old ones like Queen and Halloween and that, really, just mainly tapes because they last longer, really.
So you're happy with your day's shopping?
Definitely am.
You picked yourself up any bargains today then?
Oh, certainly quite a few. Being a big fan of the 70s, it was very much my era. I come to look for like replacement 45s for a lot of the old worn out ones I have. And it's amazing how many you can pick up for like 10 pence, 50 pence or whatever. And you know, it's great to be able to come up because I live in Dublin, as you probably can tell, and so I travelled up here today just literally to pick up any bargains and any rarities.
Tell me, what is the attraction? I mean, a lot of people are doing what you're saying, they're replacing their vinyl collection with more vinyl. Why not CD? What is the attraction of the vinyl?
It's nice to have the original issues in every case, because you know, the CD reproduction really is not the same quality.
Now, a lot of the collectors I've talked to say they'll buy these things, but they won't necessarily play them. You're saying you will take them home, you will actually play these?
I will play them, absolutely, because I mean that's why you pick them up. you want to listen to them. You just want to be, you just want to enjoy the music of your youth, etc., etc. And it's really why you have them. All right, I mean, I may have some very rare ones which I wouldn't play, but I'd have like 2 or 3 copies of them.
So show me what you picked up today, or have you bought anything yet?
I have yet.
Let's have a quick look at that then and see what your bargains are.
Right. Now, a lot of these old 70s singles. Now, a lot of them are replacements for what I had already, but there were some that I didn't pick up at the time, and I thought, yes, just grab them while they're there.
So you picked up quite a bit there. What was that? What does that cost you?
Altogether, that lump sum there, £20.
So that's not bad at all, is it?
Not at all. No, it's very good.
You're obviously quite engrossed there. Can you tell me if you've got yourself any bargains yet?
We have done, yeah.
So tell me what you've got so far.
Well, we've got a range of singles here, mostly of the 60s and the 70s. Yeah, we have an old jukebox at home.
Really?
So, yes. So that's what we're looking these for.
Tell me what your bargains were today, then show me what you bought.
We got, what have we got?
Let's see what's in the little bag here.
A little bag of goodies. Better not set them down now just in case. In case they think that they're theirs and we haven't. Let me see. Quite a lot of golden oldies.
Let's see, golden, what's the Tams? Hey Girl Don't Bother Me. I remember that one.
Remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah, a little bit more.
More Dr. Hook, Neil Diamond, Son of My Father, Chicory Tip, John Lennon, Just Like Starting Over, David Bowie, the Bay City Rollers, and Slade.
I noticed you had the Bay City Rollers hidden there in that brown bag.
Oh yeah, give me a joy.
There are a few Elvis Presleys also.
Yeah.
But it certainly helps whenever there's a large collection of record CDs all housed under the one
roof. Really, it's
It
great.
certainly makes it an awful lot easier.
Do you find it's, I mean, you come here obviously because you are buying product, but
Yes.
is there a sort of an experience of being here as opposed to just an ordinary record shop?
Well, there's a lot more excitement really, isn't
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Yes,
I love
they-
getting stuck into them. I mean, these are 10p, so I'm sure we'll get a brave few of those.
Bigger buzz.
Some bargains, yeah.
Yeah, you're one of these people that ends up going home with a whole load of stuff and thinking, I didn't intend to buy all that.
Not yes and no. Yes and no. With thousands of these records, but it's good.
That's not going to stop you buying some more, is
No,
it?
definitely not.
I asked one of the regular dealers, who likes to be known simply as Hector, if he'd ever turned up any little gems at this kind of market.
Oh, plenty. I mean, every fair you'll see something you haven't seen before, you didn't know existed, and it's not the first time something's been picked up for £1 and 5 minutes later it's on somebody's stall at 20 or 25 pounds. This is the beauty about record fairs. You will get people selling stuff very, very cheap, and you've got to hunt, but you will find things and you'll get a gem amongst it and pay very little for it. Records wise, you've got to look and say, is this as old as it looks? Because they do repressings and whatever. It's a feel. You pick something up and you go, that looks strange. You look and try and read as much of the information on the back. You might spot, like Paul McCartney played on this track, or Bono appeared here, or even just the feel of the record, the weight, the stiffness of the cardboard will tell you it's quite an old one. And you'll find a gem. A record that was out last month could be worth a lot more than a record that was out 40 or 50 years ago. Literally because maybe it's a promotional item or a limited edition or an American import, Japanese import. You'll get your chart CDs cheap. You'll get some nice country pieces, jazz pieces, anything from £2 upwards here on CDs I've seen. I've bought quite a few myself, and there's a great variety here, I would say. This is the beauty about record fairs, it's the variety. You will not get half of what's here in any record shop in Belfast, in any record shop in Ireland. One, the records don't exist, and two, the CDs would be the kind of thing that the big shops wouldn't stock. So, yes, from that point of view, good price and great variety. A choice, which is what the big shops don't give you.
Now here's one of the really important people at these do's. Come over here. Your name is?
Joan Moffat.
Joan, what's your job here?
Oh, helping to make the food and to making the tea and the coffee, really enjoying it.
Well, like, how many people do you reckon in the course of the day will be over here looking for cups of coffee, hot dogs or whatever?
Yeah, quite a lot, and they come back from all over the day, you know, 2 or 3 cups, it's not just one. Yeah, quite a lot. Yeah.
That speaks well of your cooking, doesn't it?
Oh well, I try to do my best. Not an expert like, but I do my best.
What sort of characters do you find at these sort of fairs?
Quite happy and jovial people, and it's nice to meet them. They're so pleasant, you know. Everybody's in a good, happy mood, and it's a nice atmosphere, you know.
Do you manage to get a wee break yourself from time to time?
Yes, we do get an odd wee break. When things quieten down, we have a wee feed then.
This is Penny Kennedy. Penny, you're one of the stall holders, and I see you've got quite a few, what could I call them, classic albums up behind you there. Tell me a little bit about the stall and what sort of things you're selling today.
Oh, we're selling everything. We're selling metal, soundtracks, rare soundtracks, rare soul, stuff from the 60s, 70s, just as rare as you can get, we've got it.
Is it possible to say that one thing is more popular than any other?
Well, we specialise in heavy metal, and you know, that's what we like to specialise in. It does seem to be quite a good seller, you know.
You find the heavy metal fans will spend a lot of money?
Yes. yeah. They will, you know, for anything that's sort of rare and collectible, and you know.
So tell me, what is rare, what is collectible?
Metallica, definitely, yes, Slayer, and then there's loads of other ones that I couldn't even say their names.
Now, by your accent, I suspect you're not from Northern Ireland. Where have you travelled from?
Coleraine.
From Coleraine? That's an interesting Coleraine accent you've got there.
Yeah, I know. No, I came over to university, got a history degree, married a guy from Northern Ireland. That's why I'm here.
So would you travel to all of the fairs, or would it just be the ones in Northern Ireland?
All the ones in Northern Ireland, and we do some down south, and my husband occasionally goes over to England. But mostly we just do ones every Saturday, some little town, Cookstown, Ballymoney, you know, we're there.
Tell me, just where do you get all of these albums from?
Well, you tend to, when you're doing stuff like this, you know, people who've got collections will come into the fair and, you know, say, I've got a collection. So we tend to buy them off of people, like just buy a whole collection. And you tend to buy a lot of rubbish as well. You know, I've got stacks of records at home, you know, thousands and thousands. I'll never sell anyway. You know, you might buy, you know, a whole collection for 5 records of it or something.
Listen, you're telling me you buy rubbish. Call down to my house later.
Okay, I will. Just give me your phone number and address. I'll be down there.
Well, of course, it's called a CD at a record fair, but it's not just CDs and it's not just records you can get here. Come on over and have a look at this stuff. Heavy metal t-shirts, for example. Soul. Let's go down this way. I don't know why that reminds me of Northern Ireland, but for some reason it does. I'll have a quick chat with you.
He's the boss.
Right, we don't mind, we'll talk to anybody.
How are you doing?
Where are you up from today?
Dublin.
So is this a regular haunt of yours?
This is my 3rd time here now.
And obviously it's worthwhile.
Ah yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So what sort of stuff are you offering here that perhaps people couldn't just walk into a shop and get?
Mainly CDs that has been deleted at this stage and wouldn't be available in the shops really, kind of rare vinyl as well. Odd bits and pieces like that, you know.
Now you obviously sell this in Dublin as well.
At the odd time, yeah. But you wouldn't get as many fairs down in Dublin as you would maybe up here, you know. It's not as popular down there.
So it is worth your while then, travelling all this way up?
Yeah, I've got a mate that drives me up in the van, so it's very little expense, you know.
I hope you make it worth his while, do you?
Just a little bit.
This wouldn't be him here. Go over here a minute. Are you the mate who drives the van?
I am indeed, yes. That's all I do.
That's all you do?
That's all I do, yeah.
So he makes all the money and
he makes all the money and I make all the...
That's a hassle. That's a heck of an arrangement you've got there.
It's brilliant, yeah. We'll see how long it lasts.
Okay, I'm talking to Andy from Discovery Records. Andy, you're a regular here, I take it?
That's right, yeah. It's about seventh time I've been here, yeah.
Now, these are some pretty rare-looking records. Talk me through these. Explain why they're so, well, let's be honest, why are they so expensive?
No, that's fair. It's a fair question. Okay, let's take a very popular band like Queen, for instance. Queen are incredibly collectible because they've had so many different singles from so many different countries. And what you find is, wherever you go throughout the world, everything's got a different picture sleeve. They're quite often a different label, the different B-sides, different tracks, different remixes. So that's why they are very collectible.
Do you have your regular punters who'll come along and you'll know what they're looking for?
Yeah, that's right. As I say, I've been here for about the 7th one, and you get to know the same people, the same faces. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but they don't really. Some people can't be bothered to do mail order. they don't trust sending a cheque in the post, or they don't trust a record being, you know, sent to them in the post. They think it might get damaged, so they prefer to come and see it in the flesh, as it were, you know, which is fine, but there's only probably 2 or 3 of these a year. So sometimes I'll come here and I'm thinking, right, I know I've got a really good selection of Queen in, I just hope the guy's not on holiday, you know what I mean? Because they can spend £200 or £300 and it makes the trip worthwhile.
Well, when you're talking here, could we just move over to this one?
Sure.
Because, you know, we talked about this one earlier. If you can just get a shot of this, Mal. It's the Queen album, £300, and it's signed by members of Queen.
That's right.
Now, tell me this. Whoever buys that, bearing in mind that it's vinyl, and vinyl is easily worn,
Yeah.
are they ever going to play that record?
They're not actually, no. They're only going to buy that just because it's signed by the 4 members of Queen. And especially as, I don't know if anyone's shown you, but there is actually a letter of authenticity from Jackie, who runs the Queen fan club in London, which should just have a look at. There's not actually a record in this because we're just selling it as a sleeve, to be quite honest with you. But there you go, that's for the official Queen-headed notepaper. Jackie is the chairman of the fan club, and she organises the Queen Convention, which is held once a year in the UK, in England. They get about 2,000 people attending a 4-day convention from all over the world. It's an amazing event, it really is. And on the Saturday of a 4-day convention, they have like a marketplace where all the big Queen collectors from around the world come and sell all the, you know, buy and sell and trade all the stuff. So as I say, with the letter, and as it's signed in gold pen on a lovely white background, and it's even dedicated from the great man Freddie himself. I mean, it's a fabulous piece. I would honestly say that's easily worth £400 or £500, you know. But at a record fair, maybe you think you've got to be a bit more competitive. It's not like an auction, it's not like Sotheby's, you know, where you can virtually name a price, you know, and people are just going to bid against each other. At a record fair, you've only got 2 or 3 people who you're targeting to buy something like this. So that's why you've got to try and keep it competitive, I suppose, you know.
Well, a lot of people say they come here for nostalgia reasons, and I've just spotted something that takes me back a few years. Excuse me. Space Invaders! Well, they don't make games like this anymore. Who needs PlayStation or the internet? This is rock and roll. So what bargains have you picked up today then?
Not an awful lot, really. Didn't get what I was looking for.
I didn't mean it status quo. You old rocker, you.
They'll never die.
What about this man with you here? What are you looking for today?
Well, actually, what I'm looking for is quite hard to find. We've just heard there's a couple of 7 inches of Billy Joel, but apparently Billy Joel's not particularly collectible. But I like his stuff, so.
You collect them?
Oh, I collect them. Oh yes, I have everything. I have all the albums, and I've actually seen him. I've only seen him once. Where was it? RDS?
RDS.
I think we've seen him. He's fantastic.
And is it the vinyl you're looking for, CD?
Anything, just anything unusual. He tends to record. He'll do live versions of Beatles songs and stuff like that, and Dylan, people like that. He'll do off-the-cuff stuff live, and you know, I like that sort of stuff.
And you reckon you have a better chance of finding that somewhere like CD fair than you have just going into the shops?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's difficult enough to get his albums, never mind get 12 inches or rare stuff. There's no live stuff. That's one thing he seems quite adamant. I mean, I would collect an awful lot of Elvis Presley stuff as well, live concerts and such. There's a lot of them about, but although I probably should admit that. But you can't find rare live Billy Joel stuff at all. You just can't find it.
But you're going to keep trying anyway?
Oh, I'm going to keep trying, yeah, of course, absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Can I have a quick look at your albums? Are these the ones you've just bought today?
There was, yes, there's a very rare one there, and it's The Holy Land, and it's a lovely album. It's about Johnny Cash visiting the Holy Land, and you hear it's just like as if you were there, the noise and all in the background, and he talks about the life of the Lord Jesus, and it's lovely, so it is. It's a real collector's piece.
Is this one you've been looking for a while?
It is, and it's lovely, so it is, yeah.
So you're happy you've got your bargain today?
Yes.
What are you after?
I'm after jazz, contemporary and modern jazz, but I see very little of it here.
Have you been down to this sort of thing before?
Not very often, on 1 or 2 occasions over the last 10 years.
So it's jazz on vinyl, presumably, you're looking for?
No, I'm looking for the CD also.
So what would be the difference coming here as opposed to just going to a CD store in town?
There's always a possibility of picking up a collector's item, but you would need to be very lucky.
Have you been lucky in the past?
I have on a few occasions, but mostly in London. I'm very lucky if I can spend hours and hours and very often not get anything at all, and that was just the case here.
This is my first time on the other side of the fence. I was a buyer for about 25 years. Now I'm a seller for 2 days. So I'm getting experience from the other side of the fence now. You're at the mercy of the sellers. It's been a seller's market for a long time. Usually you find you get rubbish if you try and sell your collection. You know, you're at the mercy of the buyers here, and you'll get anything down to £1. And if you spend something like maybe 13, 14.99 or something, 15 quid on a CD, as soon as you cross the threshold of the shop, it's, you know, the depreciation's gone. It's gone riot, and it's worthless practically. You know.
Well, based on your experience so far, do you think you'll be back again?
Yeah, it's an interesting experience. Yeah, I definitely would. I would come back.
It's nearly the end of the day. You've got about an hour to go. It's been worth your while coming along.
Yeah, it hasn't been bad. Yeah, it's been good.
So what's been the big sellers, or what's been your best?
U2. Sold a lot of U2. Plenty of David Bowie.
You reckon you'll be back then?
Oh yeah, definitely. We always come back. Can't get rid of us that easy.
So how's it been? A good day?
That's slow.
Really?
It's more. I think it's more for CDs and music and that, you know.
So I mean, what sort of people come along and buy this type of stuff? Is it
just collectors and science fiction and maybe memorabilia, stuff like that.
Have you found too many of them?
There's been a few, but it was quite busy at the start, and then it slowed down around 2 o'clock.
Will you be back, do you think?
Back tomorrow. See about next year. Don't know.
Steve, we're nearly at the end of the day's trading. Then it's about an hour left to go. Has it been a good day?
Yes, very good day. Yeah, good strong numbers. I haven't counted yet, but probably about 700-800 people, and all seem to be happy enough, I think.
What about your own stalls? That gone pretty well?
Yes, gone very well. Yes. Yeah, I've sold a lot of stuff today. Very pleased. Yeah.
So you're obviously going to be back.
Oh yes. So yeah, the next one is June, I think. June, and then September and December as well.
So what is it? I mean, we've seen a lot of different characters in and out of the place. We've seen people going off with bundles of CDs and records. What is it about the magic of the place that brings people down time after time?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's just a bit of everything, really. Some people are after a bargain and they come in and they just look for a bargain and nothing else. And other people are coming and looking for that sort of special item that they want. Everyone's different, really. Yeah.
So how would you sum up your CD and record fair? If you could sum it up in a sentence.
Excellent. Excellent for me and for the punters, I would say, because there is a very good display here today. I think most people have gone away happy. I've asked quite a few people and they said they're very pleased. So if they're pleased, I'm pleased.
Well, stall holders are packing up. They all seem happy enough. They've had a good day. And so have a load of the shoppers, including, I have to say, this shopper. I've got my little bargain. I'm taking it home now to have a listen. So I'll see you soon.